a new welterweight champion and the first ever Palestinian champion.
Round one, fight.
What's happening, people? Welcome back to the Brothers Geek Out channel. It's another episode of Fight Talk. Two brothers about to geek out about some fights, some MMA, UFC 304, which happened this weekend. It's been a while. We're back. It's a big card, so we had to definitely discuss it. It was a UK card. We got some new champions. Just
Oh,
we had to geek out about this one, man. But K West, you're back in London. You're back in the UK. You've seen the fights as well. I mean, how you doing? How's everything going in general before we get into the fights?
oh man, yeah. Things are real good. Things are actually, whew, it's been a rush. It's been a roller coaster. But like I said to you before, I fell out of a plane. I glided for a little bit. I surfed for a little while, and then I hit some trees, hit my face, I broke my back. I hit my ribs cracked a little bit, and all in all, at the end of all of it, I ended up on my feet, battered and bruised, but never broken, friend.
Nice, nice.
So
Good to
I'm all
hear.
good.
Nice. Good to hear, bro. Good to hear.
I'm all
Awesome,
good.
man.
How are you
Well,
doing, man? How's Dubai treating you? I know
back.
you were in London recently and your family time. And what say you? You
Yeah,
you you.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, second week back in Dubai since we got back, and last week was like back into full-time routine with work, training, diet, all that sort of stuff. This week, same routine, get back into it. Yeah, everything's cool. Like now, like, I'm back into routine. As I was saying to you before, I'm a routine person. So when I'm in routine, I can focus and do everything. And I'm not talking about just working and training. I'm talking about diet control, talking about extra curriculum of reading and all that sort of stuff. So when I'm back in routine, I'm back in routine. Also, it's very, very, very bloody hot out here now. So we're not
Oh
spending
yeah.
much time in the outdoors. Even though when I go training, my outdoor gym, do a little bit out there. But in general, with the misses and whatnot, we're just trying to on the weekends, we just kind of feel like let's just chill at home. It's so bloody hot. To get out and about or whatnot. Not that like
How,
we're gonna
how hot?
it's hot. It's like 43 now and it goes up to like
Oh jeez.
45. Sometimes
Oh
it might go
jeez.
up to just checking the temperature.
43.
Yeah, sometimes it might go up to the worst when it's humid, it'll feel like plus 50s. So it's a bit it's hot. But
That's horrible, man.
yeah, I know, I know.
Oh,
Yeah, so being on the outdoors is crazy. When I do my morning yoga routine, I'm just dripping with sweat because of
that
how
must be great for the morning, no? You must
it
feel
is.
so.
It is. It is. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah, it
is. A
must be great.
workout outside is nice, but
Keep you
even with
intense.
training, I've been thinking about things. We bought a what do you call it? I bought the air dyne bike. The missus when we were in the UK, we had a little bike, so she was riding it, and she was like, "Oh, we could get one for the UK, for
Mm,
Dubai."
mm,
So I was like, you know what? If we're gonna get one, why don't we get an air dye and I can use it as well? So
mm.
yeah, we got one of those. So I've been kind of adding that into my routine in the mornings, a little cardio, hard endurance, just 4 minutes of Tabata
Yeah.
sprints and whatnot.
Oh, like that.
But yeah, so I'm just figuring that out. And that Tuesday, I'm just refiguring out things, still trying to do the martial arts, but just trying to take better rest days and be more vitalized. Like last week, Tuesday, instead of doing like a full morning and evening routine, I just done the evening class. I didn't even do the gym stuff. Like that makes sense. Because my routine is like I've got my whole morning yoga routine and all that stuff. And in the evening, when I go do the martial arts, it's I train for an hour first in the gym. Then I do the martial arts for an hour, hour and a half. Then I finish off with some like, sprints, Tabata sprints on the air dyne or kicking the
Okay.
bag or whatever. Right? So it's like a two and a
Okay.
half hour session.
Oh
Whereas on Tuesdays,
shit.
yeah,
Wow.
on Tuesdays, I was like, you know what? Let's in the evening, rather than doing all that gym stuff, let's just go for the MMA class, do a quick warm up, do the MMA class, and just leave it to that. Don't do the extra gym and all that sort of stuff. And then Wednesday, make it another hard session. That way, because I was feeling, because what was happening before I left Dubai was I was feeling a bit drained on Wednesdays. Like I would train hard
Yeah.
Monday. Tuesday I'll be in pain, but I'm like, let's go, let's push through. And then Wednesday, I feel drained for like my session on Wednesday, and I couldn't wrestle properly. And I just feel like
Yeah.
the mental was more about I can't wait till I finish this rather than let's do this type of thing. So I was like, I think Tuesday, let me just take out all the gym stuff, just do the MMA class, just that 1 hour session and be done. And then take the rest of the time to rest. So anyway, I'm gonna try that out this week and whatnot. And then I got my Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday stuff that I'm doing. But other than that,
The training, the teaching people, right?
yes, so
Teaching
yeah,
people
that's
BJJ.
another thing. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
another thing. So I'm teaching my wife BJJ on
nice.
once a week and just teaching her basically self-defense technique, which also helps me really try and understand my technique, really trying to break it down as well, just the basics. And then I'm also teaching my friend who wants to learn
Yes.
some striking and grappling and whatnot. And I'm taking the approach that I was taught when I was in Singapore with the MMA coach there, Eddie, who was just very technical. Because I told my friend, do you want me to teach you MMA and martial arts, or do you want to work out? Because if you want to work out, I'll just take you on the pads and I'll just call out combinations. You hit it. I'll tell you to just shoot for a takedown. And even though you don't know what you're doing, you just dive in with bad posture and try to. If that's what you want, then we'll do
Yeah.
that. But if
Okay.
you want to learn martial arts, then there's gonna be
Yeah.
you might not even sweat. And that's the approach that I'm taking. So he was very clear on what he wants. And
Okay.
I started teaching him, and I'm really just breaking down a whole scenario from, from striking to closing the distance to takedown to ground and pound to like position and submission and
Okay.
whatnot.
All
And I was just
right.
like, this is one scenario I'm taking you through, and we're
Uh-huh.
gonna just drill this one scenario until
Right.
you're not gonna master it. Not to be bad,
Right.
I can even master it, but I'm saying you're not gonna
Yeah.
master it until you understand it. And from this, there's gonna be so much branches from defense, different strikes and
Mm.
whatnot.
Mm.
Because I'm really
Mm.
been thinking about it, because I'm like, bro,
Mm.
there's no point me teaching you jab, straight, hook, left kick, high kick, shoot. Like the body angles, all that stuff, it's gonna be
Dead.
difficult. I'm just gonna teach you off the jab. Because like doing the jab and shooting is a
Mm.
very different mechanics to doing a straight and shooting.
Mm.
Like the body
Mm.
distribution, the weight distribution, the
Mm.
foot,
Mm.
everything's different. So I'm like, I'm not gonna say to you jab, shoot, straight shoot, because you don't even know the techniques of just shooting from the shooting in general and closing the
Yeah.
distance, let
Right.
alone from a jab, from a
Footwork.
straight, from a hook, the whole body's different. And that
Yeah.
slight little
Yeah.
difference is what can change
Throw you
how
off.
you,
Yeah.
yeah, how you
Yeah.
shoot
How
and
you
how you,
enter.
yeah,
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff. So
Right. Right.
it's really making, and I'm teaching him for free. I'm not thinking, it's just more for my benefit. One, he wants to learn, he wants me to teach his kids as well. But it's more for my benefit as well to understand my technique. And as I'm getting older, it's great that I mentally start going through these techniques rather than trying to physically keep doing it as well, which I'm trying
Mm.
anyway.
Right. You should record that stuff, man, and
I
just keep it
think
for now. You should record it.
it's a good point. Yeah, it's a good
Yeah,
point. I should
you
do.
really should. Absolutely should record. And you could make a thing of it and do a USIF and get the body cam. That'd be dope as well, man.
Yeah,
Them
that's a good
angles.
point. I do have a.
You got
It's a
something.
good point. You know what? Older brother, excuse me, bought me like a GoPro thing years ago. I never used it. Maybe I could start using it. Yeah, yeah. There you go.
All right.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, and I'm thinking about now when these kids come back from UK, he wants me to teach his kids, and I'm like, oh, look, with the kids, it's going to be different. I can't break down technique. It's going to be too boring for them. I need to make games
Mm,
out of it. Trying to
mm,
tell 7-year-old, oh, you're gonna jab, and then your body distribution is gonna be here, and that's boring shit. He ain't gonna want to do that. They're gonna get
mm.
bored of that. So I'm trying to think about how do we make games out of all of these positions, right?
Oh
So
my gosh. You know what I
so
just thought about?
what's
You remember
that?
what you were saying that at some point you want to transition into training and coaching. Like, there's your entry point.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is why I'm doing it. This is why I'm doing. I mean, look,
Okay.
I don't think I'll ever train or officially teach martial arts. I want to teach. I would rather
Sure.
teach like fitness and health fitness, not
Fitness.
martial arts. I could always teach martial arts, but I would always say you need to go to an expert,
You need to
a
go to an
master,
expert.
a class where they have a curriculum. But if you want to learn basics with me, I could teach you that. But I
Yeah.
can never claim to try and teach. There's so much. One, there's too much responsibility to it. I think personally, and out of respect, I wouldn't want to disrespect it. And two,
Yeah.
there is a level of fighting
Yeah. Mastery.
background you need to have. I've only had a couple kickboxing fights, but I'm no champion, I'm no expert. Jiu-jitsu and whatnot, like all of that sort of stuff. Like I haven't competed in MMA and all that sort of stuff, right? So I competed in kickboxing, but I wouldn't say I've competed enough to be like, oh, I could teach it. So it would be, I'd always say I could teach you basics. You should go to a class and go with a proper school and they'll teach you a curriculum, and that's what you need to if you really want to learn it. But if it's like my friend is like, gee, I'm 40 something plus. I just want to learn some technique and whatnot. I don't want to go to a
Mm.
class and whatever. I'm like, oh, then I can teach you some basics. You know what I mean? With my wife, like she's not gonna go to a class. I'm like, I'll teach you some basics. Like I want to teach you some self-defense.
Film all of it, man. Film all of it. Because even when you're talking about we're gonna make these fun games for the kids, film that shit.
Yeah, okay. I'll
Film
do
that
that,
shit.
man. I just set that camera up and I can start filming these things, man.
Film that shit, man. Like that's a TikTok thing right there.
Yeah, I could definitely because I could definitely use it for the future, right? When I do become a train like this will be like content to be like
Yeah.
I even had a vision. So, oh, you know what? In the
Ooh,
last couple of months, I've had a couple
tell
of
me.
visions myself. I mean, look,
Tell me.
my mine is like
Tell
I've
us even.
always, right? Well, yeah. No, I mean, like I've always said I wanted my own gym and all this sort of stuff, right? I've always wanted to have my own little
Ah.
personal space and whatever. Like me and my wife are constantly thinking about the future, obviously, where we're going to live in the future. Would it be Dubai? Would it be the UK? And obviously, I'm trying to set up a lot of things where it could
Mm,
be either one, but it most probably
hmm
will be the UK just because my family's there, right? That's who I miss the most, right?
mm,
So I was just thinking, look, man, like we stay out here for a couple of years, we save as much money as possible, we go back to the UK, and obviously I'll buy a house outside of London because London's going to be too thing. Because I want this for my family. I want to. When I say I buy a house, I want that for my family. I want to buy a property and whatnot, but I want a big enough garden space, and I've seen some of my friends and whatnot where I could build another building, which would be my like not just gym, right? Which I have my gym stuff. I want a little martial arts area with mats and bags and all that sort of stuff. But I also want to build like a podcast studio, right? Because I really we when we were in the UK, we were invited on a podcast with a couple guys called the Small Time Critics, and they do it in an actual studio, and it was awesome. I was like, bro, this is
ooh.
sick. I was so inspired. I was like, man. I actually now want to build a podcast. It wasn't even in my head. I was like, I want to
Oh,
build a podcast studio in the
wow.
future. So I want to do that in the future and even
Huh.
do like, say, for example, I want to have a screen. There's, say, for example, there's a big UFC. I'm like, bro, come over. Let's do a live watch and all that sort of stuff. Also, of course, and in my gym, I want the sauna and cold plunge and whatnot. But I want to put myself in a position when I am teaching. I maybe want to like within the community say like I want teaching at my gym. Like come to my gym, we'll do the training here. I got the sauna, I got the cold plunge, all that sort of stuff. So I'll be kind of
Mm,
like a community personal coach type of thing. Like like because when I want to get to a point, obviously everybody wants this, right? Where I'm not relying on a 9 to 5 corporate job and all that money. Like I don't need I want to get to a point where I'm like, I don't need all that money no more. I just need a certain amount to survive, like for groceries and whatnot. And that's it. Like, you know what I mean? Like so obviously that's what
mm,
everyone's aiming for and all that sort of stuff. And I'm just trying to put things into place where I could possibly make that happen. But I've been
right.
inspired, like I said, I've been inspired to like do that. Like, because I could spend time with the family if I could keep it all at home. And this
Oh
podcast
yeah.
studio, like the podcast, like and again, I say this to kids all the time. I know we don't get paid and I know we don't get financially thing. And we are growing slowly, little subscriber here and there. Yes, we've been shadow banned because we speak about Palestine and whatnot, but there is small growth on all platforms and whatnot. Maybe one day we'll make money, maybe we won't, right? But at the moment we don't make no money. But the opportunities, man, the opportunity. We like, I don't know if you saw some of the content recently, but when I was in London, we got the preview to Deadpool Wolverine and
Yep,
like those
yep,
sort of
yep,
things. I got a
yep,
little
yep,
high
yep.
five from Hugh Jackman and all this sort of stuff. I'm like, kids, these are memories, man. These are amazing memories, and it all stemmed from this podcast that we do weekly and
Mm,
whatnot. So let's just keep doing it. I want a podcast studio now with the editing. We're trying different things. We're messing around. Yes, we're shadow banned. We're not getting much views on the long form content, but some of the short form content, which is always the ones that get the most views. Yes, they go viral. Some of them go viral and whatnot, and get thousands of views and stuff like that. I'm like, cool, we'll work on the long form one. I like long form one's hard. Like it's hard to get people's attention span. People who already can do it successfully, like Joe Rogan or what, they've already have a reputation. They were already famous and all that sort of stuff. We'll just carry on doing it. We'll put our short forms out there, which get tons of views, but we'll put the long forms out there, which gets minimum views, but they're out there. Let's just do it. Same with this fight talk, man. Like we it's a long form video. We don't get hundreds of thousands of views or even thousands or even hundreds of views. But let's pull it out there, man. And with the shorts, maybe the shorts get the views. That's the one that gets the views.
mm.
Um, But yeah, no, just future
Mm,
inspiration, man, of where I want life to be. By like I said, I keep
wow.
putting out there in the universe, 6 more years. By the time I'm 45, just a decision needs to be made by then. And I feel like I can manifest it all by the age of 45, which is 6 years
Mm,
from now. So we'll see,
six
man.
years from now. Okay. Well, I think recording that content is a very good thing to start with. Just no pressure, no sweat, no drama. Just put the camera there, get some shots. You know?
Hmm.
Mm,
I think I'll do that. I got another session this week, so I'll try and get that camera sorted out. Or
be really
I'll just
good.
use my phone, worst case scenario. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that'd be
man.
good. Be good. A good start. Very good
Yeah,
start. For
definitely,
sure.
definitely. Cool, man. Well, look,
Yeah.
let's get in some fights, bro. Let's geek out about some fights, man. We had an amazing fight. I'm actually going to share my screen. So this is something that we've been doing recently as well, sharing
mm.
screen, so it could give the people who are watching a visual. So I'm just scared, just going to share my screen. You can see this, right?
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So
Okay.
people can see what we're talking about. We're going to be talking about UFC 304. Leon Edwards versus Belal Muhammad, and we got ourselves a
Oh.
new champion, a new welterweight champion, and the first ever Palestinian champion. This fight happened in the UK. Bro, like, what was your thoughts, man, when you saw the fight? Like, what was your thought? I know we were talking a little bit to the lead up of the fights. What was your
Mm.
thoughts to the lead up of the fights? What was your thoughts about the fight itself? Like, go on, give us your breakdown. Give us your thoughts.
So I never saw the back and forth that you were talking about. You were saying that there was a lot of fire coming from Bilal, right? Which you'd never seen before. And I didn't see any of that much. Yeah, so there was nothing I could read into it. I just assumed that with Bilal evolving and training with the Dagestani guys, he's gonna be way better than he was when he fought Leon, the previous time. But he was better than we expected, man. He was way better than expected. He gave Leon no time, no kind of no moments. Did you notice he always pushed him against the cage, and Leon didn't.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't circle. I think that was it, and it was almost as if Leon just couldn't execute his game plan. Bilal had a great game plan. That's what I'm trying to say.
Non-stop pressure, right? I mean, I
Yeah,
agree.
not yeah, and I think he referenced about Usman's style of wrestling is different to mine, and so on, and it is. It's very very different. Is his stand up striking is better than it was. It's a bit awkward, but I think the fact with the constant pressure and fear of the takedown, that person's going to back up, and there's going to be there's too much happening. There's way too much happening, and he was able to get the takedowns time and time, even spike the brother on his head,
Oh, that actually got scared, man, because that's
even
damaging for his neck, you know.
spike the
Uh,
brother
I'm
on his
I'm
head.
glad he's I'm glad he's okay because that actually scared me a little bit. I was like, oh shit, I hope he's okay. I agree. I mean, that pressure, it was non-stop pressure, right? It was just
Non-stop pressure was
he outstruck Leon, which is
outstruck him.
because like you said, like his striking's very awkwardish. It doesn't look as clean and nice as Leon's, because Leon's striking
Mm.
looks beautiful,
Very
but
smooth.
Leon needs space to execute that beautiful
Right,
striking.
right.
Bilal's game plan was just perfect, and he's good at that anyway. Put just non-stop pressure with the hands, and
Yeah.
then with the takedown and
Shoot,
whatnot.
shoot. Yeah.
So it was just a great game plan of
Mm.
no non-stop pressure to not
Yeah.
allow Leon to get off at all.
That's it.
And
That's it.
he
That's it.
executed amazingly, man. I mean, the pre-fight stuff. The reason what I was saying is like, so look, I'm Leon's British dude, man. Like, there's biasy there, you know what I mean? He's our guy. He's not from London, but he's our guy. It was my guy. Like, there's a bit of bias there. But then with Bilal, there's obviously he's Muslim and he's Palestinian, so there's that bias there. But I always love the character, and I was just like. Bilal kind of,
Mm.
for me, felt like it was a little bit out of character. I'm like, come on, bro, don't do this. And
Yeah.
especially against Leon. If it was Kobe and them, I'm like, yeah, cool. Like, those guys deserve it. Leon's
Give
just
him.
seemed so cool. And I know Bilal was saying that, it's because it built up from the 3 years ago when he got the eye poke and all
When he
that
got
sort of shit. So
Uh,
he was holding up so much. Like it just felt very out of character. And I'm like, I was like, come on, bro, like just like tone it, like selfishness, like, tone it down a bit, man, tone it down. Like I just didn't like it. I wouldn't say I'm still a fan, of course, but I was like, oh man, I don't like this from him. You know, my opinion, just from that perspective. But end of the day, like I was like, if he wins, for me, it's more of a win for Palestine. I want Palestine to have a win. But with Edwards, obviously he's British, he's from the hood, he's from our areas, like whatnot. I was like, there's a bias there. I want home ground territory to win and all that sort of stuff. So I was in the middle. But listen, man, like Muhammad Bilal winning is, like I said, it's a win for Palestine. I think that's big, like really because of what's happening with the Palestinian people and everything. And I'm just
mm,
so happy for him as well, but happy that it was a massive win for Palestine. And he done it in great fashion. Like honestly, I know some people might be like, "Oh, it's boring. He had his back." I'm like, nah, man. He outstruck him. Round two was crazy when he spiked him on his head.
mm,
Round
mm,
three,
mm,
I
mm.
got you got to give it to Leon. Leon was able to get his back and hold
Yes,
him, which was
yes,
amazing. And
yes,
even at the end
yes.
of round five, Leon still
Oh,
reversed it and threw an elbow and
damage,
cut him. Could you imagine
damage.
going for the whole fight, not getting cut, and the last
Right,
minute,
right.
boom, you take a cut? So I think, listen,
Mm.
I thought it was a great fight. I thought it was a great strategy. People could say boring this. End of the day, if you like, that's just couch potatoes. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. I was telling when I was teaching my friend, I was like,
Yeah.
listen, bro, we finished off with this. I said, listen, 1 minute. I'm inside control. And just, you don't know what you're doing. Just try and get me off. Right? He
Mm.
weighs about 5, 6 kgs heavier than me.
Okay.
We're gonna finish off with this exercise. Just try and get me off. I was inside,
Mm.
but within 30 seconds he tapped because he couldn't get me off and he panicked. He turned, oh, I hurt my rib. I'm like, this is my point, right? Like when an expert grappler has got you down, people are like, oh,
Yeah.
just stand up. You have no idea what it feels like for another man with technique and
Mm.
weight and can just hold you down to make you feel so vulnerable, right? So this
Mm.
is my point. Like I was able to do that to a friend who's heavier than me, who doesn't know anything. And I said, within 30 seconds, he tapped
Mm.
and I didn't even do anything. I just laid on him, right, on side control and just kind of controlled him. So could you
The
imagine?
pressure, the
That's it.
pressure,
Yeah. So could you imagine, like, in MMA, I know they're training
the
this, but people are, oh,
pressure.
that's boring and whatnot. It's like, you can't just stand up. It's not that easy. It's not an easy thing. It's a very tiring thing to do. It's a hard thing to do. But I don't think the fight was boring. I
Mm.
thought it was very exciting in the sense that it was like domination in regards to control. Like, yes, you know, a Khabib was devastating with the ground and pound, which made it look like dominating and whatnot. But to control someone like that, to make them not be able to do anything, I mean, I think that takes a certain skill set, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. And when I think back on this fight, it reminds me of Anthony Pettis versus RDA.
Hmm.
Remember that fight? That kind of game plan, just stifling the movement and all the flair and the control and those kind of things. Yeah. And as well as that, when Leon did have moments, he didn't throw anything dangerous enough to back Bilal up. So he had no fear of that. It's the
Hmm.
same, I was talking to my friend. He was like, "Oh, he called out DDP and Adesanya on the 17th." And he said, "What do you think?" And I said the same thing, that because of DDP's style, Adesanya's got to throw something to really hurt him and back him up. Otherwise, he's coming straight through.
Hmm. Got to get that respect, like that
That's
respect,
it.
because
That's it.
like Bilal's jab was connecting a lot, and if you notice, a lot of
Yes.
Leon strikes were connecting too much on the head. I mean, a couple
Yeah.
body kicks, excuse me, a couple body kicks and whatnot, but Bilal's jab and his striking was
Yeah.
great.
It's
I was like,
way
damn,
better. It's way
yeah.
better. It's way better. Like I said, he's improved all round. He's improved. He's open the idea to fighting Sharpcat next,
This
or at some point.
Yeah, and this I
That's
have to say
great.
this is what I like, yeah, exactly.
That's great.
Rather than, oh, you're gonna earn it, you're gonna, he's like, no, I
Nah,
for
bring
me
him.
to solidify myself as the
Yeah,
great, I need to take the
bring
next
him.
generation. And he's like, the next
Bring
generation
him.
is the Ian Garrys, is the Shove Cut.
Bring
Bring them
him.
on. And what he's saying is like he believes he could beat them. If he can beat the new next generation, it will put him up there with GSP. I
That,
don't think it does now, but if he
mm,
beats the next generation, it will put him up there with the GSP because
yeah.
someone like a Shavkat, man. I mean, if you beat him, that says a lot. New generation, undefeated, all that sort of stuff. So, man, that's I like his attitude about that. I do. I generally
Mm,
do. I think it's a great attitude that he's like, no, let's go. Bring on the next generation. I am going to solidify myself as one of the greatest. And that's the best way to do it. Whether he succeeds or not, we'll see. But I like that attitude, man, rather than just holding back and fighting old people. Look, I all respects to Kamaru Usman because I think he's a beast anyway, and he's definitely up there. But think about it, man. He beat George for his title defense, right? He beat Masvidal twice, right? Colby twice, right? Who did he beat to get the champion? It was the great Tyron Woodley.
Woodley. Woodley, yeah.
So all of them were great fighters. Don't get me wrong, but with all respects, man, who felt as dangerous as Leon or felt as dangerous as a Shavkat? Or, you know what I mean? They were all kind of, I don't know how to
Mm,
put it without being disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like with Bilal going through these young guys, Leon just being the champion, and I think just a very dominant champion. Well, when I say dominant, he had just a couple of title fights as well, but he had a long win streak as well. You got Shavkat.
mm,
If he could take out these young bucks, the next generation, definitely he will start falling into the greats. He's on a long win streak now as well, so we'll see.
mm,
But in that division, I don't like. I'm more excited for him to fight like a Shavkat than I am
yeah.
like a Usman or a Kobe. You know what I'm
Right,
trying to
right.
say?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Me too. Me too. Me too. And just to add to that with Bilal, it's really funny that he he's had this kind of reputation of being this boring person and so on. And it looked like in the crossroad of this fight, if he had lost it, he would have continued to just be this person that, he's a great fighter, but nobody really pays much attention to him. That was where it would have gone if he would have lost. Now he has the opportunity to become this superstar out of nowhere with
Mm.
Palestine on his back,
Mm.
the belt on the other side, and just forge this crazy legacy. Like he has the opportunity to do that. So it's just profound to see that crossroad and where it may lead him.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just hope with the trash talking type thing that calms down a little bit. In my opinion, just for me,
That's a
he
good
could do
point.
whatever he could do whatever he wants. Honestly, just for me, I mean, I don't know, man. Who the fuck am I anyway? But I just don't like that stuff, man. I'm like, bro, just leave it. Unless it's an idiot like Kobe or whatnot, then do it, right? But Leon was for me, Leon's just too cool to like talk shit to him. I just didn't get that one.
Trash talk.
Yeah.
Ah,
Um,
I mean,
well,
yeah.
let's move on to the next one, man, because well, we got another superstar, man, and heavyweights always where the massive superstars can get in.
Oof,
Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blades, like Tom Aspinall,
oof.
bro, he could be massive, like because heavyweights are always, the ones that get the biggest popularity and whatnot. But the way this guy moves, man, the way he's just taking out
Mm,
people, the way he took out Curtis Blades. I mean,
with a jab,
I know there's a little bit of controversy here, but he did knock him down. And then
with a
I guess,
jab.
yeah, then he just
The
stormed on
power,
him.
man.
Like
The
this
power.
guy,
Now,
speed is awesome.
in my opinion, there's no controversy because he wasn't defending himself. And where else is he gonna go from that? He's a BJ Aspinall is a BJJ dude. Like, and let's just not forget he's not defending himself. Both his hands are by his side.
Mm,
He wasn't even trying to. He was getting beat up. So I don't know what that's about, but that was incredible. Wow.
it's amazing.
He's scary.
Yeah, and he's a nice guy too, man. When you hear him speak, he's just, again, he's a
I
character
got
that I
nothing against you,
like.
John.
He's a nice guy too. He's like the type of dude that I aspire who I'm inspired by, the way he speaks, the way he holds
Yeah.
himself and whatnot. He's very
Yeah.
humble. He seems very nice.
Mm.
He's trying to encourage people to do, follow your dreams. I mean, he's a nice
Yeah,
guy.
I
How
like
could
that.
you
I like that.
not
I
like this
like that.
guy as a champion? How could you not like this guy? He's amazing. Like I
Yeah.
really I like his attitude. He's a great fighter. He's obviously British. He's English. So there's so many extra biases, I guess, that falls in there. But it falls into the category of what I like from a fighter in regards to personality and all that sort of stuff. Um,
Mm,
and he
yeah,
could go
morals.
go down as one of the greats. I mean, he could do that as well. I mean, of course, with John Jones, I mean, they keep talking about that, right? John Jones and Stipe, they're just trying to make that fight happen and happen and happen or whatever. I don't know, man. I don't know if him and Jones will ever happen. I got a feeling once John Jones and Stipe fight, I reckon they both might just retire after that. Stipe and Jones, like to be like, I'm done. Like that's what I reckon that might happen. There might be a possibility, but I think a Jones Aspinall fight is just growing to be big, and that could be a massive, massive fight.
Mm, mm, mm. There is another angle that I've heard about. I'm not saying I buy into it, but it does tickle my fingers a little bit, which is the idea of a cross promotion between PFL, UFC, and Ganu. Have you heard about that little tinkle?
Mm-hmm.
You
The
heard about it? Yeah.
Saudis, the Saudis
Yeah.
are throwing all the money in the world
Uh,
at it, right?
right. So, well, maybe I only heard the first bit, but that is a thing. And if that's the case, I can understand why they wouldn't want to throw Jones with Aspinall yet.
Do you? Okay, Ngannou is still freaking exciting. I just heard him on Rogan's podcast and whatnot. I'm still a fan and whatnot, but I don't. So when he does fight PFL eventually,
Mm,
I think he's gonna have a fight. I will definitely try and catch the highlights or try and watch it somewhere.
mm,
But do you think his popularity might drop a little bit because he's not a part of the big marketing machine, the big organization of UFC? And does the hype of Jones versus Ngannou die down a bit and Jones versus Tom Aspinall overtakes that? Like, do you think that could happen? Because that's why I'm slowly feeling, because I'm slowly getting more excited about Aspinall versus Jones than
right,
Ngannou versus Jones.
right. I think John Jones as a heavyweight champion versus Ngannou, the PFL champion, heavyweight champion, sounds better than without it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, absolutely. I want this whole thing to be solved. It doesn't make sense what we got going on here with this. Uh, Aspinall is, each time they said interim title, I cringed because it just
True. It's
shouldn't be
true.
there. It should not be there.
So
It just
true.
shouldn't be there. That was a cringe moment, man. Every single time I heard that, I thought it doesn't make sense. They need to remove that. And
Big
I don't know
title
what.
fight. You're
Yeah,
promoting a big title fight, and you're like
right.
interim, like, oh yeah, this is not even actual, supposedly for the actual title. I get
So
it.
that irks me when I heard him say that. Um, but yeah, I think Aspinall can hang around in that division for years to come. He's young, he's so fast, he's so well rounded, and he knocks guys down with a jab. Like what the fuck, man?
This
At
guy.
heavyweight, the speed, the footwork, the foot. You see, the first time he entered, he caught one.
Mm.
And the second time he entered, he shifted and he got him with the jab, right? I mean, he's insane for that weight. Insane.
Yeah,
Cyril
definitely.
Gone
Yeah,
and
him and
him
Cyril
will be a
Gahn. Yes,
dance.
that's a good fight.
Will
That'll
be a
be
dance. Will be a
yes.
dance. Man. Will be a dance.
If they figured this out and done
Yeah.
Stipe Jones main
Okay.
event,
Right.
co-main event, Tom
That's what.
Aspinall. I mean, but Aspinall deserves the fight of the champion. So this might put him on a risk of losing if he loses against Cyril Gahn. But Cyril Gahn and him will be a great fight.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Like you said, if they was to put them on the same card, like an not elimination, like a Grand Prix, like a tournament, that would be massive. Like you
Mm.
said, literally to just put four of them, and that would be monumentally like the best thing that they could do for the year or for whenever, really, for the
Big
year.
heavyweight tournament. I mean, look,
Yeah, that would be huge, man.
yeah, I mean, you definitely made a point. There is the unanswered question because Ngannou was the champion, and so it's like technically, no one beat the heavyweight champion, the Ngannou heavyweight champion, who did look very dominant and all this sort of stuff. So it's kind of like it's a shame that we lost that, but yeah,
Mm.
still,
Money
man.
talks though, man. Money, money. Like I said to you way back when. Sorry to cut you, but Vince McMahon a couple times he had deals with wrestlers. They left. They could make big money. They put all that aside to collect 20 million. I'm like, damn, like you guys had a feud for 20 years. But 20 million. All right, got it.
Yeah, I mean, look, that what I heard was about the PFL because obviously Dana was always against it, and but then what I heard was after that Saudi card, and this is what I
Yeah,
think Logan and Ngannou talked about on their podcast. After the Saudi card in the UFC, like that Saudi guys looking to just throw the money at them and say, "Look, let's make it happen,"
let's make it
and
happen.
and it's not
Yeah.
like a couple of bucks. We're talking about throw the
Oh
fucking
yeah,
bank
yeah,
at them,
yeah,
and they got
yeah.
the money to do it as well. So that's why
Absolutely.
it could
That
happen. Yeah.
it could. So that's where I see all of that. But yeah, for me, Aspinall is the champion.
Yeah,
Is
look,
the champion.
he feels like the heavyweight champion right now.
That's it. I don't know what Jones is doing. I don't know if he's gonna get arrested for that thing that's happened.
Something else happened. Bloody hell! I didn't even know something else happened.
Something else happened. Of
Jeez,
course it did.
what
Of
happened?
course. I
Educate
don't know
me.
the full details of it. Um, Comment section, anybody if they know the exact thing. But from what I gathered is that uh he he went out the night before and was intoxicated or whatever, slept off until 4 p.m. USADA, or no, not USADA, the new company came to collect his pee, and he was, not too pleased by that, and got really a bit hostile to the lady about that, and yeah, I think she pressed charges later down the line. So that happened a couple months ago, and it seemed as if like one way was as if the media had made it into a big thing, and it wasn't, because at the end of the because I think it gets captured on CCTV, and you see them kind of walking and like tap each other on the shoulder and walk, and it seems
Hmm.
calm, but you don't
Hmm.
see what happens prior to that, and I think that's what was messy. But there was talk that, oh, Jones has been arrested, and then Dana was like, no, that's fake news. So
Ah,
obviously with all of that, you're not really sure what happened, but it has come back to bite, and now there's like two charges of something going on against Jones. So that's
oh
what's happening.
damn. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess another episode of John Jones. All right. Well, let's move on. Let's move on to the lightweight bout. This was a hyped fight, man. Bobby King Green, sorry, his name's not Bobby no more. King Green versus Paddy Pimblett. This ended not how I expected it. Bobby going to sleep in a triangle. I mean, when he shot, I thought that was a bit unusual in general. But Paddy Pimblett obviously is great on the ground. We've seen him so many times submit people. He's just amazing on the ground.
Yeah,
So it was interesting
ninja.
that King Green shot and then he finished it. Like he had the guillotine, which was tight, and then he transversed into a triangle and just put him to sleep. And in the striking, Bobby had good side kicks or whatnot. Paddy was doing okay with the calf kicks. I just don't know why
Mm,
quick Green like I don't know what
shot,
if it was. Yeah, I don't know if it was a game plan, or if it was just
shot.
a reactional thing or whatever it was. But Paddy Pimblett, man. I mean, listen, there's so much hype around this guy. There's been so much hype. This puts him in the top 15. He finished his opponent without a doubt. There was no controversy or nothing. Queen Green is a great striker. He didn't really
Yep.
connect. Didn't really get a chance to really connect on Paddy.
No,
It's exciting. It's exciting
it
for
is.
Paddy. We'll
It
see what
is.
happens with him.
It
Yeah.
is. I take what I said back, because I expected. No, sorry, I stand corrected, because I thought that. Well, I kind of wanted King Green to press him, to really give him a competition, and he showed he was none. So, and I always put King Green in high regard in terms of like UFC fighter and what he can do. But King Green, like you said, I don't know why he went for that game plan. He did get his leg kicked out, and then he shot. So maybe it was an automatic function. Perhaps either way, it was a bad option. But yeah, Paddy is he's the blonde ninja, man, and yeah, now we can see, like the hype is still there. Yeah, he had that controversy with Gordon.
Gerard Gordon, is it Gerard Gordon? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, Jared Gordon. Yeah, that
Jared.
controversy with him, and he started yapping about it and down, like being very just arrogant about the situation, and that's what people. I think that really drove people against him. I think it was that arrogance, and the whole thing with Era Hawani as well, and kind of went messy. But leaving that aside, the blonde ninja did it, man.
Definitely. He's fun. He is fun because when he's fighting,
Yeah,
he's definitely got the
I'm
attention
watching.
of yeah,
Yeah, I'm
definitely got
watching.
the attention of people like I'm watching. I want to check it
I'm
out.
watching. I'm watching.
Um,
Yeah.
Bobby Green, like King Green, like I think we spoke about this before. I don't think he would ever get up there with all respect. He's a fun fighter. He's
Yeah,
exciting. He's also someone
yeah.
that I always enjoy watching fighting, but I don't think he
Mm,
would ever be in the top five, fighting for a title and that sort of stuff. But he's always fun to watch.
mm.
But Paddy, like, let's see, man. If Paddy's in top 15, let's see. He called out, who did he call out? Hanako.
Hanato Raikano. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
So that could
That's a
be
good fight.
yeah. So we'll see.
That's
We'll
a
see how he
that's a good
progresses,
fight.
man, because that'll keep things interesting with him.
That's a good fight because Hanato Morikano technically on stand up he's a bit more of a technical striker, and on the ground they both got like a lot going, a lot of talent, a lot of their main attributes lay there. So
Mm.
could be quite a tight fight, man.
I think that'll be a good fight. I think that'll be a
I
good
think
fight.
so
And
too. I think
if
so.
Paddy can just keep going through doing what he's doing, and not making it controversial, or not that he's trying to, but doesn't have any controversial like decisions or whatever it is, definitely he'll plan out to be what everyone thinks that he's gonna be. So we'll see. But that lightweight division, man, like with Islam on top, with freaking Gaethje and Poirier. Like these guys, man, they're next level dudes, man.
Mm,
Even Chandler and McGregor, I mean, I don't know if they're next level, but they're definitely a high level, man. So
it's
it's a
true.
fun division, man. Fun division.
One other thing as well. Did you notice how thicker Paddy was? How
He
much
did look in great shape,
he
like
was
better shape. Because he didn't go
yeah.
fat. He said he didn't go fat like he normally does because he said he wasn't in the States. That was his excuse, but he could have got fat in the UK. I think he was more disciplined.
And look at the difference of his body,
He
you
looked
know?
great, man.
Yeah,
I wish he doesn't do that fat thing. I don't know if that was just a gimmick or whatnot, but I wish he doesn't do that. I mean,
it's
I don't know the
interesting.
science, but people say it's not healthy, right? So why
Yeah,
not just
yeah.
stay healthy? When you're done, then okay, then I guess you could be fat then. Even though I wouldn't recommend it or no one would recommend, but if that's your game, then do it. But
Hmm.
not during your prime in your career. Like, let's come on, man. Let's keep it healthy and I don't know.
Hmm.
He is fun to watch. He is fun to watch.
Absolutely. I'm just wondering if it made a difference in his body and what we'll see, if he ends up being a bit thicker, but also making the way. I don't know, but I thought that was interesting to see. He looked way bigger than Bobby.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Well, we'll see, man. We'll wait and see for Paddy, man. See where it goes from here.
Yeah, man.
I did watch this fight. So this one we'll talk about Muhammad Mokaev versus Cope later because
RoboCop.
I think this one replaced that fight, right? Because that fight was on the main card, then it got pushed to pre-limit and then it got pushed to the first whatever it's called early prelims.
Oh,
Um,
Makayev.
yeah, because I believe
Oh, they did
their
him
fight was here
dirty.
first, but we'll get on him in a second. I mean, I saw this fight.
Did
I
dirty.
mean, this Gregory Rodriguez
Yeah, yeah,
from
RoboCop.
like Cup. I mean, definitely looks and strikes like Cup and whatnot, but there's
Yeah.
something about his ability where like his striking ability and obviously his ground game, which is absolutely amazing as well.
Oh, yes.
Because he's a champion and like, I can't remember his pedigree and
Two or
whatnot, but
three like world heavyweight sorry, BJJ champion, something like that.
yeah, some
I'll find it. Yeah, you're right.
but definitely I put it this way, he's definitely on my radar, right? It's always fun to kind of watch and just to see where he can take it. I don't know if you that middleweight division, I don't know. I guess he's gonna do a bit more just to kind of get on the top, top 5 or top 10 sort of radar, but definitely one to look out for. Um,
He's
and then the
32, by the way.
32, okay, he looks older,
32.
man.
So yeah, so it's I think there's only so far he can go unless he's like Daniel Cormier, Randy Couture, that kind of shit.
Well,
Just
they say like 32 is like a good prime, and like 35 and
eh,
under is a prime. Like 35 and under is where your prime. After 35, it starts decreasing, right? 32 is still like a prime sort of age, right?
it's I saw this MMA roundup thing, and it showed statistically how many fighters stay at the highest level after 30 and onwards, and it all kind of decreases down. There's a couple of exceptions: Randy Couture, George Foreman. I mean, that's in boxing, but still, fighting wise. But in UFC, there's very few that stay up that trajectory after 30, 32, something like that, and it dips down statistically.
Interesting. Okay. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
But whatever,
Interesting.
like it does numbers don't mean shit, right? Like there's miracles, man.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, starting off, kicking off the main card was a fun one. Arnold Allen versus Giga. Um,
Giga Moose.
And Geekout's
That
got
was
amazing,
interesting.
amazing striking, right? Because he has that karate
Yeah.
background and whatnot. And Arnold Allen just stood with him, man. Like they had some good back and forth. Geekout's really good with the front leg, high kicks and whatnot. But Arnold, I think the game plan was just keep Giga on his back foot because he moved a
Mm.
lot. Now Giga's good at that. He was actually really good at
Yeah.
that. But Arnold, I think he won based on
Just
keeping him on the back foot and then being
yeah.
able to take advantage of that. But
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it didn't put Giga off completely because he's still really good at like his striking ability is absolutely amazing, man. Being able to fight off like that off the back foot, throwing them high kicks, was freaking amazing, bro.
It was a marvel to see. But you see, the previous fights I was saying to you with Leon Edwards and
Belal
Bilal,
Muhammad, yeah.
similar kind of thing, right? You got somebody charging forward in Arnold Allen, charging forward, and Giga throwing flashy stuff. Giga didn't throw enough or anything threatening to back Arnold up. So he just went in, took the shot, and threw power shots each time, and was able to catch him a few times here and there. But yeah, it was literally, you know, Arnold the kind of a moving forward constantly, and Giga, just constantly on the back foot and probably tiring himself out in the process.
Mm. I mean, it's rare. It takes a high level striker to fight backwards, right? Gigas
All
was
the
good at it.
time, 15 minutes.
Yeah, Stylebender good at it. Anderson
He
Silva
is
is good at it, right? It takes a
right.
high level striker to be able to
Counter.
fight backwards, man.
Right.
And so I don't take anything away from Giga. I just think and Arnold
Absolutely not.
yeah, I think
Absolutely not.
Arnold that their game plan definitely was the way forward, or even
Absolutely
grapple.
not.
Like even grapple, he did say he wasn't going to, or he did. You know, it was
Uh,
MMA or whatnot. But even just grapple with him, but just to be able to beat him on the striking was like
yeah,
questionable.
impressive.
I'm gonna have to take a couple shots, but I'm gonna press him so he doesn't get
Mm,
anything off. But Giga is able to kind of like get things off on the back foot, but.
mm.
Arnold Allen, he fought Holloway last. I think it was last, right? And it's Holloway, right? Max
Oh,
Holloway. I mean, you like
yeah, he's
let's
he's
that's a tough
he's
one for anyone.
shiny Pokemon, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's a shiny Pokemon. But just to add to
So
that, sorry, go on.
no, go on, go on.
Other than to say, fighting off your back foot, like what made Anderson or even Lyoto Machida that much more impressive and successful is they had a crazy counter, right? And they
Mm,
could knock your shit out on the back foot. If you don't have that, then you're constantly fighting on the back foot. You got no sting in the fucking whip.
mm,
That's the thing.
yeah,
So, but yeah,
definitely, yeah, to generate power off the back foot.
that's the crazy part.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the crazy part.
yeah, Silver was a different level, man. The guy was a wizard, absolute
Yeah,
wizard.
yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta constantly watch their footwork of them stepping in and then angle and meet them and whatever. Like it's maths, man. It's like some whole dimensional fucking mathematics.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's definitely amazing. I'm saying, I
Jedi
mean,
shit.
this is again another fun division, the featherweight division. Arnold Idol is number 6 now, man. I think he might. I don't know if that pushes him up, but definitely a
Mm,
fun prospect for the
yeah,
UK.
absolutely.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not get a chance to
Didn't
watch
see
most of
this
the
one.
prelims at all. Um,
No.
did
Oh,
Molly
Molly,
McCann win? Did she
she
win? No, she
lost.
lost. She lost.
Unanimous. Okay.
Um, okay, Mohammed
Mm.
Makhayev. This is what I wanted
I
to.
didn't see this fight
So I
either.
saw the fight. So I
Tell
saw a
me.
little bit of the early prelims. I saw a couple of these, but I didn't get a chance to watch it. I watched Mohammed Makhayev. Now I'm a fan, right?
Yeah, I
And I've been
know.
following him. And
With your bias ass.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Bro, so UFC let him go, right? He won the fight.
Yeah,
They let him go,
yeah.
right? One,
Right.
I think, his fighting style and all that sort of stuff. I don't think it helps, right? And
Mm.
even in, I can't remember who he fought before the previous fight, but remember when he kept on just dropping to his knees and it was just like, it
Yes.
wasn't, he wasn't shooting, it was just dropping to his
Drop
knees.
into his knees. Yeah.
He does mostly find a way to win with last minute submissions, but he does get caught in very dangerous submission positions and whatnot. But
Mm.
this fight, there was so much hype around it that, bro, like I don't know if you, bro. So they had an altercation. They've had many altercations before. They had an
Yeah.
altercation at the hotel.
Yep.
In the cage, when they were getting into the cage, they had security in there because they couldn't even hold them back.
Yeah.
And as soon as the ref says fight, they both very hesitant, right? Now, don't get me wrong.
Mm.
Don't get me wrong. I think it's very smart to not let your emotions get in the way and be like, fuck it, I'm gonna go for a kill and they get knocked out. I think that's very smart. But really, that first round was very like, hold on a second. You guys literally, Bruce Buffer's trying to announce you lot, and you guys can't even stay away from each other. There's security. And now when it's ready to fight, nothing's really happening. So there was that. And
Oh shit.
Makayev won based on like, just getting a bit more points. But they let him go after that. Like Dana said it straight at the press conference. We're not gonna. And he said it's more to it than just a fighting style. He goes, it's
Right.
not just that. It's not
Right.
that really. It's outside stuff. There's been
All the
loads of
other
issues.
madness.
You
Yeah.
sent me that video,
Yeah.
and whatnot. So I just think outside of it, I think he wasn't. They just weren't happy with the shit that was going on in the background.
Mm.
And all that sort of stuff. So, I don't know who will pick him up. He's a free agent. He's undefeated in the UFC.
Mm.
And so whoever picks him up will take him. But I don't know. He had a dream to become champion in the UFC, but I just don't think his style really made him as fun and
Exciting.
exciting
Right.
as the UFC would want him, or as most of the fans would want him to
Mm.
be. So I don't know if it's a shame. I mean, I don't know if you could say it's a shame, but it is what it is, I guess, right? Man, that's just the business. That's just the game. Maybe he comes back in the future, but if he's left with bad, with burning bridges, like because of bad things that happen, then
Mm.
is that him done? But then again, say if he goes to PFL and he wins there, and then you make 1 million. A refugee, as he puts it, a refugee that came to the UK who's now got $1 million. I mean, you know, can't complain still because the PFL they throw money out there and whatnot, and winners of their league or whatever gets 1 million, right?
Mm.
So
Right. Right. Right.
maybe it might just be a money thing, like fuck it, all right, I'll go to the PFL, try and win there, make $1 million, and then that's you.
I mean, even to add, maybe he might figure some things out, learn some things along the way, and UFC pick him up down the line. That can
That
also happen too.
that can also happen,
It
yeah,
could also happen too if he clean if they figure out that and yeah, anything's possible with that.
definitely,
Anything's
definitely.
possible.
We'll
So
see what
who knows?
happens.
But
We'll
it's
see.
rare.
Mm,
And my other point was, yeah, it's rare. However, given the way that things go now, it's about the ratings. It's directly the voice of the people. Whereas I think before, somebody like him would have got a little bit more time. Obviously, he did whatever he did too, but I think he would have been given a little bit more leeway if it wasn't so much a, what do you guys say?
mm.
Oh, he's out. All right, cool, right? Because he's still undefeated. So yeah, I don't know. I think it might be a product of the time change as well.
Possibly. I mean, he even on his post fight interview, asked the crowd, he asked the crowd, like, guys, like, do you want me to have a new contract and stay in the UFC? He even said that, and he didn't get the pop that I guess he wanted. But I don't know if that was a
Yeah,
good idea to ask them because obviously they'll be like, well, the crowd don't even want him. And he was on the prelims. I mean, to ask, like, I don't know, it's tough. It's a tough one,
it
man.
is.
But
It is.
I
It
wish
is.
him
It
all the
is.
best anyway, man. I wish him all the best, and
Mm,
hopefully good things happen for him anyway.
mm,
But
yeah.
yeah, no, that was it. I mean, that was it for this week. I mean, look, next week, well, we got a fun for me and for you. We got a fun card, right? We got a fun fight, and we've been waiting for this one for ages, right? Umar Nurmagomedov versus Kobe Sandhagen. But this is happening in Dubai, in Abu Dhabi. It's gonna be. It says 3 a.m. No, the main card. What time's the main card start? 3 a.m. Damn, why? Hold on.
Again?
I
Wait, wait,
thought
wait.
it was
That bullet, bullet,
there are bullets on it.
bullet,
So
bullet,
we
bullet,
got
bullet.
bullets on it, which should be fun. You got this one, Marlon
Oh,
versus
him. Oh, oh
Tony
yes.
Ferguson,
No,
Michael Chia.
no,
So
no,
the
no,
only
no, no.
Mackenzie Dern is on this. Well, this is a great
What?
card. I mean, the other hype fight that we
Tony
lost was
again?
Nick Diaz versus Vicente Luque, and I think there was some travel visa issues and whatnot. Um,
Oh
yeah.
yes. Shit.
Um,
Okay.
but
Damn.
yeah,
All
this
right.
guy Mohamed Yahya, he trains at TK MMA. He's the first UAE fighter, so he's fighting
TK,
again.
as
Yeah,
in
the gym I go to, yeah, he
right.
trains
Okay.
there.
Okay.
So
You
first UAE fighter.
have you met him?
I've not met him personally. I've seen him train, but I've not met him
Okay.
personally.
What
No.
is that? What is energy? Like yeah. What's his energy like?
I don't know. I've just only
Aura
seen
like?
him train. Like I've never
Okay.
like seen him outside of training or like just
Okay. Okay.
walking around
Okay.
the gym or anything like that.
Right. 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 Right.
Um,
Okay. Okay.
so I don't know. I don't know. Listen, the other coaches and the other fighters in that gym,
Yeah.
it's different people, different. There's one specific fighter who was just in the last Kuwaiti combat always sees me, shakes my hand, salam alaikum, how are you? The guy I told you about who teaches the kids class
The
as well. And
kids. Yes.
yeah,
Yes. The
so
role
different
model.
people.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
different
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
people.
I hear that. I hear that. I hear that.
But this is a fun vote. I thought it was gonna be at like prime time UAE time, so I was gonna stay up and watch it, but now
Oh,
it's
Jay
3 a.m. here.
Jay Herbert. Oh, they done that again.
Yeah, so they're making
That
them fight early in
that
the morning. So I guess they're gonna make it
uh,
prime time US. Um, but
it's
bro,
all
this
for
is
that.
fun.
Mackenzie Dern.
If it's
Mm,
3 a.m., it's
yeah.
like even earlier than what I would normally. Because this one, the U.
Oh, oh, like 10 then, no?
No, I mean if it's saying 3 a.m. GMT,
Ah,
which is
that's
3
the
a.m. for
you.
me, that's 12
Yeah.
a.m. for you. And
Ah,
for the
okay.
US and whatnot, it's like prime time. So I didn't realize it'll be that. I thought it'll be like 8
Okay.
p.m. I thought it'd be like 8 p.m., all that sort of stuff. So
Right.
it's gonna be a
Oh,
tough one
yeah.
to stay up for. But let's see.
See,
If I
they're
don't stay
really
up, I'll just watch it the next morning anyway.
I hear that. They're really funneling it for the US. Like the fact that even the Manchester card, I remember them debating it when it was happening. And then I remember I came into the building and the concierge, I said, you ready for the fight? He said, when's it on? Am I missing it now? Because it was about 8 p.m. I said, no, it's like it's US time. He said, but it's in Manchester. And I'm like,
I know, I
I just
know,
walked
I
past
know.
him. I put my head down, walked past him.
I guess the stats always show that the highest traffic they get is from the US, no
And that's
matter
it. It's
what. So
business. It's business. So
yeah.
you can't hate about that.
No, exactly, exactly.
Business. Business.
But yeah, I mean,
Okay,
other than
great
that, so
fight.
I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
that. So we'll catch up about
me
that one.
too. Yes, yes.
Let's just quickly go. So let's just finish up with some quick MMA news. I'm on
Oh
MMAfighting.com. So
yes.
let's see what we got. I don't know what's been
See
happening. But
what
my
you got.
comments out. John Jones reacts to Tom Aspinall call out following 60-second knockout. I wonder what he said. Should I click on what he sees? See what he said?
Go on. I got something for you. Apparently, Islam reveals hand injury could force him out of the expected Abu Dhabi fight in October.
Ah, shit. Okay, okay, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, yeah.
Jones, what
Against
did he say? Supply
Arman
and
Sarukian.
demand.
Yeah.
Supply and demand at its finest. I love it. Oh, so that was his reaction. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So that means what then, John? You cryptic. Jonesy
Mm-hmm.
Bonesy boy.
So damn, I didn't know about Islam's injury. That's a shame.
Yeah,
Hopefully, because that Abu Dhabi card's a big one that's happening. So hopefully he can come and fight there because that's what they want him.
they
Obviously,
need.
they
Yeah,
want him
they
for
need
that.
that. They need him on there, man. He's the guy now. He's the guy. But yeah, I don't know yet. It's not confirmed, but he has suffered an injury.
Yeah, Dana said he's not increasing the fight bonuses again. He's not
I
going through
heard.
that shit again, bro. Because he was like, no one really pushed it in this fight. So that's a
Oh
they should.
wow, he was not impressed.
Nah, I wasn't
Is that what he
impressed.
said?
Yeah,
Okay, okay. He was not impressed with the thing. Fair
nah.
enough. Product.
What else is
He
going on here?
he expected like a 450 splash off the top octagon
I
spinning
think
kick.
so. Yeah, I think so, man. Um,
What
I'm just
about
going through in this, man. Do you have any other news that's worth?
oh no, not I mean it was Manny Pacquiao fought in Rising to a draw. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
was just seeing this here. I didn't even watch that. I had no idea he
I
was even fighting, to be honest.
I heard he
Clarissa
was fighting,
Shields.
overcome, overwhelmed, but nothing. Okay, okay. Yeah, no, I didn't see the fight, but I heard that the stipulation was if there was no knockout, then it was a draw,
Oh, damn.
that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I know about that one.
Okay. I get most of this news that I'm seeing is just based off the UFC 304. So
Just the
nothing.
recent one, yeah,
Yeah,
future
yeah. Yeah,
stuff. I
just the
mean,
results of that.
what I have is Mikhail says I won't let anyone bully me. And what I told you about Islam. Tom Aspinall challenges Jones to prove him wrong, which we know about. Rising stuff. No, no. Ooh, hold up. Okay. So potential matchmaking talk, right? From what's this from? This is from what's the news from? This is from I don't know what this news is from. MMA Mania, right? So we already know Bilal should fight Shavkat, makes sense, right? Or he called him out, makes sense. Tom Aspinall, John Jones, or whoever the winner is of Miocic and Jones. And then it's got Gregory Rodriguez, Chris Curtis, next fight,
Okay. Okay.
right? These are just shoulds, not definites. Yeah. Arnold Allen, Yair Rodriguez.
That would be fun. Yeah.
That would yeah, I'll tune into that. I'll tune in for that. And I think that's it so far.
All right. Cool,
They sound
man.
interesting. Yeah.
Cool. That sounds fun. Sounds fun. All right.
Mm,
Well, look, let's leave it there. It
sure.
was good to excuse me. It was good to catch up, geek out about these fights. Let's do this again next week because I think we've got another great fight, and that's something that's going to change the bantamweight division next week. So we'll find out, man. We'll
Mm,
see because I'm really looking forward to that one, man.
Umar,
So.
right?
Yep, yep. So we'll see.
Umar.
Umar or Corey, man, that's gonna change the dynamics of the bantamweight division. So let's check it out, man.
I can really see Umar winning that fight, you know. I feel like Corey lost something so far. He needs to find it. But I think that the last yeah, he lost something, man. He lost something. But that who knows?
We'll see what happens, man. Cool, bro.
Yeah.
But let's call it there.
Yeah, man.
Guys, as always, thanks for everyone for watching and tuning in. Do all the good stuff. Please like, subscribe, share all that stuff. And we'll catch you on next week's episode. We out. Peace.